This is your number one source for all things comics, movies, and pop culture. It's Geek Week with Chris and Nick.
You are tuned into Geek Week.
I'm Chris Natale.
And I'm Nick Rotundo.
To all those listening, thank you for joining our discussion.
And if you would like to hear any of our old episodes, be sure to check out our YouTube account, which is posted on our Facebook account at www.facebook.com/geekweek885.
And be sure to check out our Instagram account at geekweek885. It's good to be back from our spring break, and we had an awesome time in New York. Normally we have Dave's Picks of the Week during this time, but unfortunately we do not because of the snowmageddon that's been plaguing Wilkes-Barre. Dave is the owner of Comics on the Green in Scranton. If you're ever in the area, be sure to stop in. They have a great selection of back issues, graphic novels, action figures, and more.
And with us today is our good buddy, Nick Bennie. Nick went to school with us here at King's, but now goes to Notre Dame for engineering. So we are finally happy to have him back and on Geek Week for the first time. So Nick is also an expert prop maker, comic book fanatic, and a fan filmmaker with Cinemaniac Films. Nick, it is great to have you here.
It's great to be here, guys. Super excited.
So with that, this is a little bit of a different show. This week's topic and overall show is basically run by Bennie. So Bennie came up with the idea of doing a show with little to no script, and we will be talking about building up the DCEU. Bennie, why don't you explain a little bit more on how this is going to work and get us started?
So effectively, as someone who works at a movie theater, a lot of times we throw around ideas for movies or the ways movies should have been done. And something that's been happening for a very long time is me and my buddies have been fan casting and pretty much writing the stories for movies that we'd like to see. So I came up with the idea of what better way to, get ready for the release of two of the flagships, Wonder Woman and Justice League, than by coming up with the ideas for the other movies that may or may not be in the DCEU in the near future.
All right, so Bennie, why don't you get us started with our first task?
Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is one that I have been talking about for years, with friends of mine, and one that I kind of have the whole idea together, but I'm gonna tell you what I think, and then you guys can maybe help with kind of creating more of the story. But I'm not gonna tell you the name of the character yet. I want you to just sit there and think about what I'm telling you, okay? And I don't want you to say the character's name until the end. So I kind of visualize this as a screenplay as it will actually be seen. So we open up and there's nothing but desert. And the camera pans and you see the Great Pyramids. And a little title card comes up and it says, Giza, Egypt, 4,000 BC, 6,000 BC. And effectively what goes on is there's a slave, and this great wizard comes to him named Shazam. And this slave is granted great powers to help defend his people from an imposing threat. And throughout the course of this movie, he learns that his powers are so great that they could be used for either good or bad. And something tragic happens to him, and a loved one of his is killed. And he goes crazy. And he goes around the world, and he literally kills every human being on the world. Every person in the world gets slaughtered, killed. This great wizard, Shazam, is able to banish him, we'll say, however many years BC plus 2018 years. So we'll go with 18. We'll round up to 8,000 years. He banishes him into space, and the wizard's able to turn back kind of time and undo what this man had done. And so we have that, and then the screen goes black, and then there's you have your initial credits saying who everybody was played by. And then there's a first credit scene. And you just see this character, Black Adam, with his fist forward, just flying through space with yellow glowing eyes, but they're leaving a streak behind him as he's flying.
Yes.
So it's just like, you could see him, and it's just, and it cuts to black. And then, the after the credits scene, that is the best part. And I think this, people who know this character they're going to have a problem. Because they're not going to know what to do with themselves, because they know that this is fulfilling something that they wanted their entire lifetime. It cuts to a street, just a random street, and you see this kid run out of a house. And you just hear, Billy, get back here, it's about to storm. And you see the clouds are getting a little dark, and it starts the pitter-patter of rain, and he's walking down a street and passes an alley, and you see him walk past the alley, but you hear from inside the alley, help, blah, 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 blah. And then the camera turns to Billy, and he opens his mouth. and then the screen goes black, and you just hear a thunder crack.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Oh my gosh.
So that whole movie is just a Black Adam movie, and we already know the Rock has been cast as Black Adam.
I love how
yeah.
I love how you didn't even have him say the word at the end.
No,
that,
I think that's what makes it.
that's such more like tension and like emotion. And you got your
Now, it
your
is
fans on
supposed
their
to
seats
be-
like this. Like they're like, is he gonna say it? Is he gonna, and then he doesn't.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah, he's like, oh my god, we're gonna hear him say Shazam, and he never does.
it's
Now,
fantastic.
is it officially a Black Adam movie, or is it?
That's the thing is, there's a rumor that it's gonna be Black Adam and Superman,
Ooh.
which I think would be a great movie.
They did the animated film where they had Shazam and Superman and Black Adam all go at it at once, and it was cool because you saw Superman and Shazam team up to take Black Adam down. But at first, Black Adam was holding his own against both of them, considering Superman's weak to magic. Shazam is like they're evenly matched in
I'd say
terms of
Shazam
power.
and Superman are about evenly matched.
And Black Adam was just taking them both until like they had to work together
Yeah.
to take him out. But man, Black Adam is one of those characters that I've always wanted to see a movie for.
Oh, yeah.
I like that the Rock was casted as him, just because the Rock to me like will pull it off for sure. He's gonna be the
Oh, he's gonna
be
You can't
badass.
cast
Like
anything better.
my gosh, like he's gonna wreck that role. I would just want to see a good Black Adam as long as he plays a good like villain.
And
That's
you have
what
to
I
decide
care about.
whether are you gonna do the New 52 storyline where his nephew gets murdered or somebody he knows gets murdered, and it's whatever. You could do that, but I think they could do it. They could do it so well. But here's the question I have to pose to you, and this is something that probably for close to 5 years we have not been able to successfully do this. We fan casted Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson 6 years ago in this role.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We have not been able to cast Shazam.
Ooh.
Not the Wizard. Captain Marvel, Shazam. The Wizard, it could be any old guy. I really don't care less. Actually, no. There are some good people that I think would be good, but who do you cast as Shazam, Captain Marvel? You got to realize this guy has to be the same size as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
How about this one? Tom Welling, the guy that played Clark in Smallville.
He's older now. I don't think he's. You got to have somebody who is like physically
Yeah, I'd say he has to be,
as big or bigger than The Rock, and
or even like a little bit smaller,
Yeah.
like just to show that there's like a, that Shazam has to like kind of compensate for his
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, another one that I could say is maybe. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna have fans that are gonna be like, I can't believe you said that, but
I'm probably going to say that.
Brandon Routh.
No,
You can't.
No,
He's already the Atom.
I don't.
Yeah,
like,
but it's a multiverse, so there's.
I don't know. They'd never.
I don't even.
They would never do.
I don't
that.
even like
Well,
Brandon
yeah.
Routh in general. I don't like him as the Atom. I don't like him as Superman. I didn't like him as like. No offense to him. Like I'm sure he's done other stuff, but like I just don't see him or Tom Welling. Tom Welling's always going to be Clark in Smallville to me. He's never going to be Shazam. Like in my eyes, I couldn't even like picture it.
He's playing Kara's uncle on Supergirl now.
Really,
Yeah.
that's pretty. See, that's cool because they did a nod to him.
Yeah, it's a
being in that
callback
universe.
Yeah, kind of like how the guy that played the '90s Flash is now the Flash's father.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Jay Garrick.
I like how they do that. They bring in those guys that have already played the role and they incorporate him to the universe somehow. That's pretty sick to
But
me.
it's like, how do you cast him?
Yeah, that to me is.
I said
pretty
Billy
tough.
Batson could. You know the kid, do you remember the kid from Percy Jackson and the Olympians?
I think
I would have
so.
said he could have been a good Billy Batson.
Is that Asa Butterfield or
No, that's
No.
the kid from
that's
Ender's
the,
Game.
yeah.
But I said now, since the kid from Percy Jackson's too old, I said get the kid from Iron Man 3 and Jurassic World.
Yes.
Because I think he's that age, and I think he could pull off the very snarky Billy, kind of like
I agree.
I hate everybody kind of thing. But Shazam is an impossible fan cast.
I know
You need
that
to
is
get-
very
I would have
tough.
said Bautista, but
Ooh.
he's already Drax, and that's never going to happen. Ever.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, people cast it just because the whole wrestling thing. People casted John Cena, and I was laughing.
You can't do that because he's
can't.
not. He doesn't emulate
Yeah, he really doesn't. He's just,
Shazam. I don't think.
even. I mean, if you did John Cena, you would have to have Shazam not speak once. You
Yeah,
just have to
'cause
just fight.
You can't.
You would just have to have Shazam fight and stuff. That's it. You couldn't have him
Yeah.
speak. You have John Cena. You have John Cena speak on that movie, and it's like over. You know. I don't think they fan cast him. I was just that's just there was a rumor that was floating around.
I don't think they're going to cast. They're going to. I think what they're going to do is they're going to wait to introduce Shazam because that's a character that's very.
Oh yeah. I mean.
So if they do the Black Adam Superman movie, I'd be take my monies. I don't care. I'm there.
I agree on that. Yeah, for me, like I know that's going to be pushed off, the whole Black Adam thing, because of the fact that they're trying to. I mean, they're trying to catch up to Marvel, but it's more of
They
like
don't need to.
I know
shouldn't catch
they
up to
shouldn't,
like
but
quality over quantity. Seriously,
exactly. But I just think that like they're way over their heads in like that thinking.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah.
Wonder Woman, I'm excited for though.
Very
for sure.
true.
Like I want to see like DC's next line of movies. Like I'm excited to see that. I hope like their casting for Aquaman was pretty awesome because Aquaman's gotten like so much like
the perfect Aquaman. I would never once you see Momoa as Aquaman, there's no doubt in your mind that there could have been anybody else. That's like when they cast Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
Oh,
you
yeah.
never picture another person as Iron Man.
Like the idea of Tom Cruise was almost Iron Man. I almost slapped it. Like just no.
It would have been completely different. I don't think it would have picked up. I don't think we would have the MCU.
Definitely not.
But yeah, Wonder Woman's going to be. Or who else do they cast in Aquaman? They have Patrick Wilson from The Conjuring. He played Night Owl 2 in Watchmen. He's playing Ocean Master.
Yeah, he's playing.
Ooh.
He's playing Orm.
Black Manta got casted.
Yeah,
As my good friend Kevin Smith says, we just want the bucket hat. We just want the big helmet, the tight black suit, and that's fine.
Black Man is actually like pretty intimidating.
He's
like, just even though he has like that big helmet and stuff, he can be terrifying if he wanted to be. I feel.
I completely agree. That's
they
like
casted
kind
somebody
of
as Mira. I can't remember her name for the life of
Johnny
Mira.
Depp's wife.
his ex-wife. Yeah, Amber Heard.
Yeah,
she looks great. Like that.
Yeah,
guy,
she
like,
did. I agree.
I
on
like the
that.
direction, and people are saying DC's too dark, but like, let's be real. Like DC's kind of born to be dark, and they're like, that was their thing. That's always been.
But
their
I think
thing.
what they're doing is they're setting these first couple movies to be dark, because then they could come into the light with something like Justice League. They're like, okay, the world was so grim and dark
and hated Superman.
Before they were together, but now that they're together, the world is going to be a new, brighter place to live. I think that's where I would go. And then James Wan, the guy who's directing Aquaman, did The Conjurings with Patrick Wilson.
Yeah.
Forgive me, Trekkies. But yeah, Aquaman's going to be that movie that people are going to be like, oh, it's Aquaman. Who cares? I'm like, this isn't your grandpappy's Aquaman. This is
the one who talks to fish.
This isn't like Super Friends Aquaman.
This is I talk to fish, but they're all great white sharks.
This is like
that's what there's a great
Megalodon
scene in the Justice League
Throne of Atlantis
#1.
No, it's Justice League #1.
Justice League #1, where they first meet Aquaman in New 52.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Where Aquaman comes out of the ocean, and there's the great whites jumping out of the ocean behind him, and he has his trident.
He's taking out the what are they called again? Darkseid's parademons. Yeah,
I want
awesome.
to see that.
Yes.
Could you imagine just Jason Momoa coming out of the water, like just standing there, just brooding, and then you just have great white sharks breaching in the background? If he uses sharks to attack things in Justice League.
I want to see a Megalodon show up.
A giant squid?
Yes.
Like you could literally pick any animal.
The Kraken.
In Throne of Atlantis.
The Kraken.
In Throne of Atlantis, when they had that Megalodon come up and take Black Manta out. That was ridiculous.
It's so good.
And then
they could literally take it anywhere they want.
Yeah, I really hope they kind of take some stuff like inspired from Jeff Johns' line of like, because that's what brought Aquaman back into like a better place with fans. Like he was always that talk to fish and all that stuff. When Jeff Johns
people always look at the Super Friends version.
And of course to quote Big Bang Theory, Aquaman sucks. He sucks underwater. This is going to be a completely different version, and I'm excited to see this as well. Like Injustice to me really is what's pushing everything to become like, these characters aren't to be messed with.
Yeah, even in like Injustice, like Aquaman is such a like he's awesome.
He's a diplomat, he's a warrior, he's king.
He's not at all, ladies.
I just want to see him fight. I just want to see him like take somebody on.
I want to see him use that trident. Like that is oh man.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, the next movie I want to talk about is The Flash.
Ooh, yes.
Because this is a hot topic of debate because everybody loves Grant Gustin's Flash on the CW.
I agree on that.
And
huge fan.
You can't do that again. Like you can't really. You have to come up with a completely different Flash, but be the exact same Flash, and that's impossible to do. And everybody's always complaining about. You were even talking the other night about how every season has a different speedster. Who do you put in the first Flash movie? And it's not an origin movie. The first Flash movie, I think they already said it's not going to be an origin movie. They're not doing any more origin movies for anybody. So what villains do you put in the first Flash movie?
Boomerang.
I'd say the Rogues. The Rogues.
The Rogues do Captain Cold.
Captain Cold, Boomerang. You got Wizard, Weather Wizard.
Yeah.
You have what's his name?
Mirror
Master, and the Trickster. You have all those guys, and Golden Glider, I think too. She's a part of them, and that's that'd be awesome just to see that, just to see them all try to make a plan to take Flash on.
I think that would be more successful than if they did like an Eobard Thawne storyline.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do
as much
that
as I
though
love
at some
Reverse
point.
Flash, I would rather them do something.
I want to
else.
see the Rogues first, and then do maybe.
You know what would be really cool? 2 people. Who do you think? I have 2 people in mind. Who would you pick to play a live action on the movie screen, like on DCEU, Trickster?
He's gonna say Mark Hamill.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
He's too old.
I would go. Oh, geez, what's the guy's name? He plays Sheldon.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I think he could pull off a creepy kind of.
I could see him. Yeah. My two thoughts were either Johnny Depp
Oh my.
You're absolutely right.
or
God.
Yeah.
no, I lost the other one. I lost the other one. Damn it.
Johnny Depp's actually.
No, not Jared Leto. Who was the other one? It was Johnny Depp and Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey was. See, I'd rather see him
As the Riddler again.
as the Riddler again
But-
because he did a great. But then again, that movie was forever ago. No pun intended.
That is awful.
Oh God.
I know you said no pun intended. That's fine.
Anyway, yeah, he was great as the Riddler in that movie, and to me, he really stuck out as a character. But it'd be cool to see him come back into the light. But I don't know if he'd even touch another he'd touch superhero movies.
He's only doing poor movies now. That's his thing. He's only doing really bad movies. Jim Carrey.
Well, he said when he did Kick-Ass 2, he played was it Colonel Stars and Stripes, and he did not want to even promote the movie one bit.
Yeah, he didn't even. I don't even think he went to the premiere.
He actually said on Twitter and everything that I'm not promoting this movie because I don't promote violence.
Yeah.
So he's just not into that, which kind of breaks my heart because I've always had this fantasy of seeing him as Cletus Cassidy, but it is what it is.
Carnage, Spider-Man villain.
Yeah. Everybody's always talked about that. I think he would be amazing at that, but you know what? But yeah, no. So I think between Johnny Depp and Jim Carrey, I'd rather see Johnny Depp as the Trickster. I think he would pull it off fantastic.
I think I would put him as better as Shade.
Okay.
I was
he has the dark-
literally just thinking Edward Scissorhands and a few other things.
They're all dark movies.
The barbershop movie. I forget the name of it.
Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
I was just thinking. I was like, why not the Shade? The Shade's kind of not even known at all.
See, to me though, I know when people were fan casting for Ben Affleck's Batman, I was like Johnny Depp or James Franco for the Joker. That would be awesome. And
I would say Neil Patrick Harris, or once again, the guy who plays Sheldon Cooper for the Riddler.
yeah, I agree on that.
Harris.
I completely 100% agree on that.
Jim Parsons, that's his name.
Yes. I think, out of those two, though, Neil Patrick Harris, hands down. I think he would be fantastic as the Riddler.
And he's familiar with the DC universe because he played Nightwing on the Batman Under the Red Hood.
Yep.
He was
Yeah.
Nightwing. So
He's familiar with a lot of comics, actually. He played Nightwing, like you said, and he also played Spider-Man in that MTV TV show that they did.
Oh.
Yeah, it was kind of
Bowser Strikes Again.
yeah, it was kind of bad, but I mean, there were a couple good episodes that I watched. But
So
other
we're
than
saying Rogues Gallery for the first Flash movie.
that's what
Maybe at the end.
Maybe the end is
throughout the movie, you just see a blur in the background. You just see
He's his presence is there, but he's not on screen.
there's another one there, but he's not allowed to.
or he's on the rooftop watching him battle the rogues or whatever, and then he zooms off.
Just have him zipping around the city the entire
You don't want
time.
to. You don't want to show
You
him.
don't
You
show
want
him at all. You just see a blur.
You want to keep the mystery.
Now,
to that.
do you think Barry should go on his own, or do you think he should be part of Star Labs and have Cisco and everybody
I
helping
think Barry
him?
should go back and change the timeline.
If we're talking CW, yeah.
kidding.
I don't think
I
they're
had to
going
throw
to
that
do.
out
They're
there.
definitely not going to do that for the.
No, not at all.
They'll have Iris West.
Yeah.
Who would you cast as a Wally West? And I want to do an actual redhead.
Oh man. See, but they're doing the black version of Iris West, I believe, right? They
In
already
the
cast.
movie?
Yeah, I
Did
thought
they?
they cast.
Oh, okay.
I
Really?
think they cast.
I
I
didn't
could
know
be
that.
wrong, but I could
don't
have
know if
sworn
they
I
did.
saw they casted
I kind of
someone.
want to see a redhead Wally West too.
I
It's
do.
great
Or
to
a
see.
blonde Barry Allen too. Barry Allen's blonde in the comics.
Yeah.
We have not had a blonde Barry Allen yet. All right, so that's Flash. All right, Green Lantern.
I knew
Ooh.
you were gonna go
Because
this
this is now,
probably the biggest topic
they
that
already announced.
Yeah.
They want to do Green Lantern Corps is gonna be like a buddy cop movie. So
Kind
they
of
said
like,
at least 2 Green Lanterns.
Yeah. Well, they said it's going to be 2,
one. I want.
No, hold on.
I'm
I'm
so.
almost there.
and they said which 2, if I'm
almost
correct.
There, almost there. There has been a rumor going around for probably the last 9 months that Armie Hammer will be Hal Jordan, and every day there's more Easter eggs about. Oh God, he just like this photo about blah 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 blah.
Henry Cavill.
I would say that Armie Hammer will be cast as Hal Jordan. I would put that in writing. He's gonna be our Hal Jordan, which I think is great.
I think he would be a great Hal Jordan. And then the other one I had in mind was James Marsden, who, if you don't
If
know,
they were doing
yeah.
the Brandon Routh Superman, I would say James Marsden as Hal Jordan. Yes,
But I think he could pull off Hal Jordan compared to doing his
I don't think I've ever
Cyclops.
seen
he
Armie.
looks like him.
Yeah.
I've never seen Armie Hammer act or anything.
Yeah, you
but
have.
Have I?
Have you seen The Social Network?
Yes.
The Winklevoss twins.
Sir? Oh, really?
Yeah, he's plays
Okay.
both of them.
Didn't know
Lone
that.
Ranger, that awful.
yeah.
With
yeah.
Johnny Depp in it as
He
well.
plays the Lone Ranger.
I didn't
Kimosabe.
know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have seen it.
You've seen him and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, I could totally see him
hasn't
doing
done anything since then.
Hal Jordan then, because I've seen both of those, and
I saw
actually-
the last
especially
time I
with
saw
like
him.
the Lone Ranger, like his way how he holds himself and everything. You'd put a green suit
Yeah.
on him, he's pretty like
Now,
spot
and
on.
not CGI'd.
Ooh,
now,
John Stewart.
John Stewart, and I've been saying this for you. I've been saying this for probably.
I said
close
this
to a
when we
decade.
when we first talked
When we
to each other
first-
ever back in like 2015. We sat down. We said the same time Idris Elba.
Yes,
like
there
he's the
is
man.
no. He would pull off.
He would be the best.
Now.
like John Stewart.
People have been saying it's going to be Tyrese Gibson. No. Which
I'm okay with that.
no, because he's too much of a funny man.
Yeah, he really is though. He's like not.
If you got Common,
That's what I was saying just
Common
to Chris
I could
before.
accept Common.
See, I've seen Common, and I'm not a big fan of his acting. I like his rapping. I'm
Yeah.
okay with, but his acting.
He
is-
kind of. I wouldn't go
don't
as
know.
far as say. Who did I say? Not Idris
Not Tyrese Gibson.
Tyrese Gibson. On a scale of who looks more like
John Stewart.
John Stewart, I give it to Common. But who is John Stewart? Idris Elba. There's just. I mean, he plays Imdale.
They don't,
See, that's
Marvel
what's-
doesn't
that-
do anything with him. He doesn't do.
I
They
know,
don't
so
do
unless they do
anything.
something-
He doesn't
like
like
in
it
this
though.
new
He don't-
Thor?
See, that's what I don't like.
understand why
I'm
they
concerned because of the fact
him
that
in
like
there.
he's with Marvel and he has a contract, so I don't know if they'd allow him
I
to.
don't know if the contract's even worth anything. Like, or if it's just a film-to-film basis, if they get him, because they haven't. There's a rumor he might be in Infinity Wars, and if he's in Infinity Wars, then it's all bets are off. There's no way
Yeah.
they're going to get him in DC. But if I get my choice, I would do Idris Elba, and I would do it as the movie would be John Stewart and Hal Jordan. Now, would I be upset if they did Kyle Rayner? Absolutely not. If we got a White Lantern right out of the gate,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how would you explain the idea that Hal Jordan and John Stewart have been away from Earth this entire time? You know, they haven't seen Superman. They haven't seen. Well, I mean, I'm sure they've seen Batman
I'm
because
sure
he's
they've-
been retired. But
you could.
I'm sure they had business on Owen. I'm sure always sent him like through other.
Or they've just been there the whole time. It's just nothing has been that pressing that they need to do anything.
that,
about it.
or you know, they come into play
Or
like
they've
they
just been off world the whole time.
or
That's what I'm
or
saying.
they never became the Green Lantern yet, which would be really tough to do.
I don't want to.
That's the argument that I use when somebody says they need to introduce the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm like, it's been over a decade since. I guess not in the actual universe, but it's been like 5 years since Tony Stark told everybody he was Iron Man. You can't just introduce this huge superhero team who had been doing it for years before and be like, oh yeah, the Fantastic Four is here. You couldn't do it. I think they'd already have to be established as Green Lanterns. They've been doing that for years. They have, experience with different entities and stuff of space. But I don't think they could just be like, oh, here's an origins movie, unless They do where Hal Jordan's been doing this for a while, and then Jon Stewart gets his ring. And
Yeah.
Hal Jordan kind of takes him on a
As a
ride
mentor,
along
yeah.
and does that kind of thing. And maybe that's why they've been off-world this whole time, is that Jon Stewart's been getting trained on how to be a Green Lantern. I could see that.
That I could see as well. Now, see, for me, what's that movie? Danny Glover. I'm getting too old for this.
Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be like Lethal Weapon.
Well, then you'd have to do it the other way. You'd have to do Jon Stewart's been a Green Lantern. And
Well,
then Hal Jordan
didn't
is
someone
kind
send out a tweet how it was going to be a Lethal Weapon, like the director? Of
Yeah,
this?
he
Yeah,
said
it's going to be like Lethal Weapon
yeah.
in space.
Okay.
So, like, I think that would be great to see, you know, like Hal Jordan kind of training Jon Stewart in
But Jon
space.
Stewart being the Marine already, he's like, I don't need you to
I
train
want
me
Jon
Yeah,
Stewart to be the straight
exactly.
man. I want Jon Stewart to be like the straight
Yeah,
man.
He's
like
not cracking jokes.
Yeah, seriously.
But you have Hal, like the wise ass kind of, oh, hey, old timer, we're going to do this. And he's like, you know, back in my day when we were in, you know, whatever. I guess we'd have to do Desert Storm or the Iraq War
Yeah.
at this point. You can't do Vietnam anymore. But he's like, you know, when I was serving over blah, 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 blah. And I think that would be
perfect. Yeah, I agree completely on that.
All right. What's the next?
So we got Flash, Green Lantern. I want to save one of them for a little later.
Okay.
But let's talk. Let's talk. Rotondo over there is looking itchy. I know he wants to talk about Nightwing right now. They announced that Nightwing is going to get his own solo movie, which doesn't necessarily mean the best thing for the Batman universe if they want to do a solo Nightwing. But I've said for years, Zac Efron as Nightwing. I think he's a good fan cast. But,
I agree on that completely. Like, I could see that. However, to me, like Zac Efron, if you've seen Neighbors or if you've seen Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates, whether that movie was horrible or not to you, you know, it shows he can be angry too at certain things. So he has that anger. So I feel like he could either pull off Nightwing or Red Hood.
How old is Efron?
Oh, geez, I have no idea. He's got to be.
I think he's in his late 20s.
Okay.
Early 30s. So, and if we're saying Affleck is 45 as Batman, I guess he would be probably around a Red Hood age then.
Yeah. Now, see, for me, I made a list of like a couple people. Well, not a couple, I should say. There's more like
There's
10.
like 30 people on
There's
the
like
list.
10.
Ranking athletically and height.
No, 10 people who I think should play Nightwing, and I'll save the last one as my top pick. So we have Taron Egerton. He's from Kingsman. Danny Shepard, who did the Nightwing YouTube series. Jared Padalecki from Supernatural. Dylan O'Brien from Teen Wolf. David Henry from Wizards of Waverly Place.
No.
I feel like he could really pull it off. Tom Welling from Smallville. Tyler Posey from Teen Wolf. Matt Long, who played the young Johnny Blaze in the original Ghost Rider. Stephen R. McQueen, Vampire Diaries. And then my top pick, hands down, Milo Ventimiglia. Played Rocky Balboa Jr. in Rocky Balboa, the newest Rocky movie. And he also is now in that TV show that I know my mom is a big fan of, This Is Us.
No idea. No
So if you want to see why I think Milo would be the perfect fan cast for at least me, go look up the inspirational speech from Rocky Balboa to his son in that movie. And hands down, the way he cracks back at Rocky and just tells him, like, you're casting that shadow over me. I'm trying to be my own person. That, to me,
It's like
right
him talking
there.
to Bruce.
Yeah.
I watched.
Get out of my city.
I just watched as well.
Yeah, I thought that was a great scene. And when Nick showed me, I was like, "Who's that?" And then he showed me, and I was like, "That's very reminiscent of like the Bruce Dick relationship, where Dick's like always in Bruce's shadow, and never really. It's just Robin, and then eventually comes out as Nightwing. He's just like, I'm done with this kind of thing. I want to be my own individual person." Steve McQueen's been talked about a lot. He's been rumored. He's been saying he wants to do it for the longest time. I've seen it all over the place on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. And like Steve McQueen is just like, yeah, I want to do this. Like, and he was even in talks to be on the Titans like live action TV show.
TNT was gonna do.
So
Yeah.
and it was they changed it from Titans to Blackbirds, I think, and that was like the name change, and then they just dropped it all at once.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like, I think he could play it well. It's just, I don't know. It's not as more of. I'm more towards Milo, but I know they're gonna pick like a big name.
Yeah.
Because so the whole picture in my mind is that, if Ben Affleck really wants out of Batman, because there's rumors that he does. I don't know if that's 100% true. I mean, the man has a Batcave as his panic room in his mansion. So to me, I think he's a big Batman fan. It's just a lot of people have been, giving him a lot of stuff for, Batman v Superman, but that wasn't his fault. For him playing Batman in that movie, hands down, probably one of the best Batman we've ever seen.
I think the best.
Yeah, he's right up there with Keaton in my mind.
Keaton's
Exactly.
a
I will
little
say
bit.
that Keaton and him are the best Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
Whereas, like, people say, "Oh, Christian Bale was so good at Batman." I said, "Yeah, that was the only thing he was good at. He wasn't a good Bruce Wayne. It was very weird."
What wasn't the other way around? Wasn't he a bad Batman but a good Bruce Wayne?
That's what I would say because
Yeah,
I
like,
hated his
his,
voice
like,
as Batman.
laryngitis
Oh well,
voice.
it's the throat cancer voice.
Yeah.
Is what he has.
Where are they?
Where are the other Jedi?
Where's the trigger?
Well, let's stick with Batman. Arkham. There's a rumor that they're rewriting the entire movie.
Oh yeah, there are. They are. They
So,
came out and said that.
Are they not doing Assault on Arkham type thing? Or are they?
I don't know. I feel like they should, but if they don't do a whole like him inside Arkham Asylum, kind of reminiscent to the original Arkham Asylum video game, if they don't do that, I'd rather see a Under the Red Hood story. I mean, yes, it's kind of like
I feel like
predictable,
That's rough right
Yeah.
out the gate.
Yeah, I think so too. You
but
gotta
they have been
They already
pushing.
established the Suicide Squad, so an Assault on Arkham movie kind of wouldn't be a bad thing because the Suicide Squad's already been established. Amanda Waller's been established.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne and Batman have been established.
And
already
they've
as
talked,
Batman v
and he's
Superman.
talked to both Deathstroke and both to
Well, they're saying that the reason
Amanda Waller.
he was going into the Arkham in the first place was it was going to because specifically something had happened in Arkham. They needed
Right.
him to infiltrate, and the Suicide Squad couldn't do it. But I want them to keep Deathstroke. They have to use.
Oh
Deathstroke.
yeah, they have to
Yeah,
use
Joe,
Deathstroke.
Joe
Something.
Manganiello. I think
He
his
says
name.
he's still in it.
Yeah,
From
yeah. So now, who do you cast? Let's do now. I like casting Batman villains that are underused. I'm not talking like Calendar Man
Or
Kite
Condiment
Man,
King.
Condiment King. I'm talking like Clayface, Mr. Freeze. Those characters that you don't see much of. So I said Mr. Freeze, played by the incomparable Bryan Cranston.
Oh my
yes,
god!
Right.
yes. See, I wanted him so much to be
Commissioner Gordon.
Commissioner Gordon.
But Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
I think he'd kill it as Mr. Freeze.
Now, see, he is under contract by Disney for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
But it's not a Marvel.
Right. Which is
And-
why
and-
it could work.
DC just did a crossover, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and the Justice League
Correct.
in the comics. So, but I don't think. I think if DC offers him like, hey, you want to play Mr. Freeze in a movie? I think he'd be like, yeah, I'd love to play Mr. Freeze in a movie. Clayface, if they can they can use Clayface, not in the animated series, but in the Batman way, where they had him as like a cop who was disfigured and went through the whole thing.
That was such a cool twist.
I think that's the Clayface you use. And currently in Detective Comics, he's a good guy.
Ooh.
So you could do it where it's kind of a redemption story. I don't know.
He's teaming up with like the Bat family. And
So
Who
hear
do
me
you
out
cast?
on this.
Okay.
When a certain person went to go try out for a voice acting for the Batman animated series, this person said, "You can't cast me as that. I'm a good guy." On
Mark Hamill.
Yeah, Mark Hamill, when he decided to go out for the Joker, said, I can't play the Joker. You can't do that to
Yeah,
me.
people would be
I wanted to
afraid
play
of
Mr.
Humphrey.
Freeze. I wanted to play Clayface."
He just wanted to do side voices that weren't.
Right. So I think casting him as a retired cop or something, or like a mentor type of cop, and then becoming Clayface, you could just wipe away his face. You don't have to see him, just his voice. I think he'd be awesome at
That'd
that.
be cool. I just don't know if Disney would let him with Star Wars.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough.
They want him to be exclusively doing Star Wars. So it'd be if they kill him off at the end of 7, which spoilers I think they are. They're probably.
I don't think they are actually. I think he's gonna probably die in 8, but
No,
I
The
don't.
Last
Or, I mean,
Jedi is not
in
terms
9,
of-
he's
no,
not gonna.
8.
Yeah, he's not gonna
it'd be
die
8.
in.
He's gonna die in 8.
I think he's gonna die in 9.
No, The Last Jedi is not because of Luke dying. It's just because the Sith are gone,
Right.
but they have the Knights of Ren in place. There's always a light side force and there's always a dark side force. So you have the Jedi and the Sith, the Rebellion and the Empire, the Alliance and the First Order. You're going to have a new order of Jedi, which aren't going to be called Jedi. They'll be called something else. So that's why Luke will be, in fact, the last Jedi, but not the last of the 4 spares of the light side.
Correct, which is why I don't think he's going to die specifically in 8.
I don't know. And then they said the rumored first words that he's going to say are, spoilers, who are you? So he doesn't know who Rey is, so it's not his daughter. But getting back to Batman, Poison Ivy. Who do you cast as Poison Ivy?
Ooh, okay.
I'd say Academy Award winner Emma Stone.
See, I'd rather have her as Batgirl slash...
Oh, yeah, make her Oracle.
Yeah.
Barbara Gordon.
She could pull.
Okay,
she
yeah,
could pull. She could pull that
I
off.
think you could pull that off better.
Boss
She's kinda
Logic.
snarky.
Boss
and-
Logic did a thing where he made her into Batgirl and it was awesome.
I saw one where he made her into Poison Ivy.
Really?
I had to,
Yes.
Megan Fox.
no Megan Fox.
I don't-
She's too overrated.
don't touch Megan
that's
Fox.
yucky.
She's
She's
just-
yucky now.
Man, that's
Unless,
tough.
what's her face? Jenna Malone was the informant in Batman v Superman in the extended cut.
And they cut her out.
But she's in the extended cut. You
Right.
see her character. So she might be kind of an Oracle character that's operating under an alias within the government. So Bruce Wayne is.
So if that's the case, then like having Emma Stone as Poison Ivy would be really cool.
Catwoman. Who do you cast as Catwoman?
See, now this has to be someone who's around Batman's age a little bit.
And she's got to look good.
Yeah.
You got to have like a. I was thinking. Now people might kill me for saying this. Sandra Bullock.
Okay, I can kind of see that.
Yeah. Or you get somebody like.
No, how about you get Ben's wife in there? Get Jennifer Gardner in
Oh,
there.
geez,
Oh, no. No, and they're divorced now, so that'd
They're
be...
not divorced.
They're not
back
divorced.
together.
They're back
Oh, they're
together.
They
back?
just got out of alcohol abuse treatment, and Jen and him are back together. I read Us Weekly, people.
I'm just saying, like Ben. I feel like even Daredevil was written like you could say Daredevil was written terribly, whatever.
but they acted
But
well.
they had good chemistry on screen, and we all know that.
I don't think she'd do it. I doubt it. You need. I don't know. I don't even know. Who would you cast as Catwoman?
Oh, man. I mean, she's way too young, but I think they had amazing chemistry in a movie together. Anna Kendrick.
Wasn't she like supposed to be casted for Squirrel Girl? Like, wasn't that like a rumor?
going around.
That's the rumor. She wants to, but I don't think Marvel's doing anything with Squirrel Girl yet.
There's also a rumor she was going to play Carrie Kelly.
Yeah.
Too, so I mean,
Yeah, she's
that's
been like
awful.
so the movie that they were in together was The Accountant.
Yeah.
And the whole idea was
Amazing movie.
yeah, it was a great movie. I love that movie. But the whole thing was that like during the press tour, she kept teasing him and had she put a piece of paper R on her shirt with tape and said, "Well, he needs a Robin," and kept poking him and stuff. So, come on, cast me, Ben.
Yeah.
So
Catwoman's a difficult cast.
yeah,
I think so too.
But who do you cast as the Penguin?
Kevin Smith.
He's.
Wow.
Kevin Smith.
He said if he was asked, he would do it. I would
And
not
he would
cast
actually do like the Danny DeVito and
him. We don't want another Danny.
well,
DeVito.
I'm not saying like Danny DeVito in the sense that like how he looks and like be like the sludge coming out of his mouth and everything, but that whole like that would be the perfect Penguin in my opinion. Like looking back at like the Adam West TV show, like
Oh, that's not the direction we're going.
I know we're not trying to go
I would
like
say you go more towards the way. Unfortunately, I'm going to agree with Gotham. Gotham, I think got the.
I think
right.
the Penguin Cobblepot was done right.
I
with
just feel
Robin
like he's
Ward
too
Taylor.
skinny and tall.
Just
He
wait.
needs to.
If you look in the comics, he's not always this big.
Yeah,
hulking
he's
Penguin
really
guy.
not. Even in Batman Telltale, dude, he was this tall British dude.
Well, yeah, I just
You could get away with
you can get away with any kind of as long as he has the.
deformities. If you could
yeah.
get away with.
I really would love to see those deformities
So you
back.
cast Kevin Smith. as
Yeah,
Penguin. Chris,
I
do you have
would.
any-
I would cast Kevin Smith.
I've never even thought about the Penguin being casted before. I just didn't like occur to me because I've never been a big Penguin fan.
Yeah.
I've always been like a fan of like Clayface, Mr. Freeze, like those guys.
Those guys are just. they're
Mr.
so
Freeze, like
underused.
Mr. Freeze,
His story.
Batman Sub-Zero, that animated
Oh,
movie.
God,
His Mr. Freeze's story is
Tears.
fantastic.
Tears every
His
time I watch
his
that.
oh my god, dude, he deserves a movie. So does Clayface. Clayface is just so underrated, and now he's being utilized in Detective Comics and Rebirth. Hello,
Yeah.
like come on, guys. But like Penguin to me, I see it's so tough because I don't really.
Because I don't know who I would cast. I really don't. I'd have to do more.
I kind of like the guy in Logan who was the blonde guy who was like
Donald Pierce, you're talking about? The
Yeah,
guy who
the
played
guy who
Donald
played
Pierce?
Donald Pierce, the guy.
I think you could pull that off.
I kind
yeah.
of liked his
Yeah.
look because like I'm kind of in my mind I'm taking like the tattoos, I'm taking the metal hand away, and I'm like and deformities and stuff like that. I feel like he would kill it because he would be like that.
He needs the
snarky,
pointy nose, though.
snobby penguin. Give him a pointy nose.
Yeah,
I don't
prosthetic.
care. Like I just feel like he has that attitude, that swagger that Penguin would have
Yeah.
as a mob boss. But that's just me thinking right now.
Now,
off the cuff.
how would you feel about Johnny Depp as the Penguin too?
He's not like a Johnny Depp, Tom Welling.
I mean,
like,
Johnny Depp can pretty much
As
play
who, the
anything.
Penguin?
Yeah.
No.
I feel like he could do
Scarecrow.
anything. Yeah, Scarecrow.
You know my
He would be
Scarecrow,
amazing
right?
as
Right?
Scarecrow. Oh my
But,
god.
Wait, we used him for what did we say he was going to be already?
The
Shade.
Trickster. Or Trickster or
I
Shade.
think he killed a Shade.
He'd kill Shade. I wouldn't use him for Scarecrow. You could get somebody like I don't know. I don't think they should use Scarecrow again.
Scarecrow's
Yeah,
just, I feel like he's
Scarecrow,
just
they
kinda
used
there.
him. I feel like if you're going to do a Batman movie and you're going to go for like more of that whole Arkham or like a new type of like this is what we're trying to achieve with Batman. Sure, look, they did Joker already. That's already in the universe, and they did. If you look at the Christopher Nolan,
No more
Batman.
Bane.
Yeah, we
Please,
don't
no
need
more
Bane. So the three people we don't really need to see: Bane, Scarecrow, and I mean, I'm okay if they bring up the Joker, but I don't think it
don't
really
need
needs to be
to.
based
I would
on the
like to
Joker.
see
Yeah, I want to
Two-Face.
see them go head to head
I'd
though,
like to see what the
Joker and him.
Two-Face.
Two-Face,
He
see,
was
that's why.
underused.
Yeah.
I
See,
agree
for
there.
me, they need to cast somebody better though. I just couldn't really see the guy they. Yeah, I don't think he was that good.
He was okay. He wasn't like
Yeah.
It wasn't.
He was a good
wasn't
Harvey
Tommy Lee
Dent.
Jones. Tommy Lee Jones did a. I'm gonna be completely serious.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
villains in Batman Forever, some of the best cast, I think.
Some might be corny, but you know what? They were. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get back into this. Benny, what's our next topic?
Do you have a friend who's in need? When there's something strange in your neighborhood, who are you gonna call? I want to do a fan cast of a new all men Ghostbusters movie.
Ooh.
This is not really comic books, but I just said, you know what? I like the girls. I like the girls in the new movie. They're okay, but
I wouldn't even know who to cast.
okay,
'cause-
let's just move past it then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
for,
wouldn't even know
for
where to
me,
go with
like,
I would say
as for me,
Marshmallow, the Marshmallow Fluff Man, definitely Amy Schumer. Easy cast, unless she's gonna play Jabba's wife in episode 8.
oh god, we're gonna get so much hate mail.
I don't get her, folks, so I'm good.
Oh god. Well, if you want to reach Benny,
Don't reach me. I have a PO box. It's 1-800-mattress.
no, but no, for me, like Ghostbusters, like whether they were women or men, like it just shouldn't have been touched. There's some things like the Naked Gun, Ghostbusters, like you don't touch it.
Yeah,
So that's
like
that's
a
my
rash on your back. You just don't touch it.
that's my take. So we were talking about Batman, and we were talking about how
The Dork Knight.
yes, and how they might recast him if Ben Affleck wants out. And we were talking about Nightwing and all that stuff. What I've been hearing is they want to do a big name for Nightwing, so that way when Ben Affleck doesn't want to do Batman anymore, Nightwing takes over as Batman. Now, I can see Benny's face here. You guys can't because you're listening on the radio or on YouTube. And he's a little shocked to hear that. He's giving me a face. I might get slapped after this is done recording, but
I mean, Scott Snyder's like first ever Batman story did feature Nightwing as Batman, like Dick Grayson as Batman.
And you two did
So-
meet him. Maybe it's
My
meant
good
to be.
friend Scott, yeah.
Maybe it's meant to be.
I don't know. I still want to see more solo Bat. Like I want.
Oh, yeah,
just-
no,
I don't
without a
want,
doubt.
Affleck. I don't want to get rid of my Affleck.
I don't
Neither
want
do I.
him to just Nightwing just to take over. I want it to progressively happen over a few movies. Like I don't want.
Yeah.
But what I had said, what I believe is going to happen is if Ben Affleck is like, oh, I want out, guys, I don't want to do this anymore, they should Flashpoint this. Flashpoint it, get Jeffrey Dean Morgan to play Thomas Wayne Batman for a movie.
Yes.
kill it.
Yes.
And then you
yes.
can do a reboot and have somebody completely different play Batman, like Christian Slater or Tom Wells or Johnny Depp.
Or
Back to Tom Welling
Tom
and Johnny
Canova,
Depp.
who knows? Grant Gustin, let him play the Batman.
what was
Sandra
who
Bullock.
were you saying before though, Chris? You were saying the Bat in the Sun. They should have him do.
Porter.
Yes,
Kevin Porter was
Kevin
awesome
Porter.
in the fan films, and like he truly loves that character.
Oh, without a doubt. I think he would be a great Batman as well. But overall, I think, Batman-wise, we have a lot of, the villains that we talked about already. We have a lot of, Ben Affleck talk. We want to have Ben Affleck stay as Batman. Is there any other villains you want to see in a solo Batman film as soon as possible that should be fan casted?
Hush.
Ooh, Hush.
Yeah, Thomas Elliott.
Wait,
That's such a good storyline.
Matt Damon.
That's not a. I mean,
That's really not bad.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all because
I
like
would
Ben
have put him
Affleck
as
and
a Nightwing.
No, I mean, I would love to
Alfred's
see.
younger brother with a limp. I don't know.
I'd love to see
Hello, I'm Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. No, but
Have Jimmy Kimmel play.
yes,
somebody at the
yes,
film.
Jimmy Kimmel as Hush.
Oh my god, that'd be hysterical.
But see, to me though, like Matt Damon would have been a great either Deathstroke or a elderly or like a matured Green Arrow.
I could never see
No.
Matt Damon as Deathstroke.
Or
I
Green
just-
Arrow. No, he's too calm. Make him a banker. Make him like
What
Bruce Wayne's
about
attorney.
for Green Arrow? Just on that. What about Sons of Anarchy?
Charlie Hunnam.
Charlie Hunnam, or who did I tell you the other night? Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay,
Leo DiCaprio.
he's not a bad actor. He's
Yeah.
a big name
I
too.
mean, Leo DiCaprio's kind of an awful actor, guys. He only has an Oscar.
One.
One. He hasn't been in any good movies like Titanic or
Revenant.
Wolf of
or
Wall
Wolf
Street.
of Wall Street or The Aviator or
The
What's
Djan-
Eating
Django
Gilbert Grape,
Unchained.
Django. It's not like he's in multiple $1,000,000 grossing movies. He's one of the greatest actors of all time. He's pretty bad, actually.
Oh man.
There's sassiness to some people.
But yeah, no, I kind of would agree with that. I'm still
I could see
iffy
Damon
on that.
as Elliot. I could see. Damon
Yeah,
as-
Damon as Thomas Elliot Hush would be really cool because, taking a prosthetic of Affleck's face too and putting it on him.
Not even just that. It's just the fact, these actors have chemistry
Yeah.
together.
They
They're
are best
friends.
friends.
They're
Exactly.
So having that best friend dynamic.
Matt Damon as Two-Face.
Mm,
You do the
See,
All-Star.
I don't mind that because going off All-Star Batman.
and technically
Bennie here.
also the Telltale.
Yeah.
That's true. Two-Face is pretty big in Telltale, like a bigger guy. So
So yeah, I think we got all of the Batman villains out of the way. Talking about that, we really want to hit up.
Yeah.
What is there another thing that you wanted to see fan casted?
Yes.
Oh,
One of my favorite superheroes of all time, who isn't really a superhero. He's more of a exorcist, demonologist, and dabbler of the dark arts. We are talking about Mr. John Constantine, ladies and gentlemen.
now
Constantine.
I
See,
do
I
have
kinda
something in
wish
mind.
they would just go with the same actor they used for the
In the
show.
TV show. I will raise you one better.
Okay, go for it.
Colin Farrell.
Ooh, Colin
Okay.
Farrell. Okay.
I could.
I do
totally-
have another one too.
I could see that.
I don't remember the actor's name, but he plays Eddie Thawne in The Flash on CW.
Oh, yeah.
I think he would be really good.
I haven't seen him enough to know.
Yeah.
Like Colin Farrell, I know for sure.
I had read that fan casting like a year or two ago about Colin Farrell. I'm like, yeah, that makes total sense. That actually makes 100% sense. He doesn't have to do an accent. He just literally has to be himself and just...
I could do it. I could see that.
Yeah. And then I want a Constantine movie so bad because Keanu Reeves' Constantine movie, although not at all comic book accurate, was fantastic. The TV series done by NBC where the incomparable Matt Ryan played John Constantine. Once again, fantastic job. They're making it into a cartoon on the CW Seed.
And he was in Justice League Dark, I believe, right?
He was in Justice League
He
Dark.
was the voice. Yeah.
But they are doing a Justice League Dark movie. They
Ooh,
confirmed that.
Swamp Thing
years
and
ago-
everything.
I was
Ron
just gonna get to
Perlman.
that. I was just going to say Swamp Thing was hopefully going to be that. But years ago, Guillermo del Toro was supposed to do a Justice League Dark movie.
Okay, I like
And
this.
they wanted to have Perlman as Swamp Thing.
Yes.
But Constantine, Colin Farrell, Swamp Thing, Ron Perlman, and then the Boston Brand. Who do you cast as Boston Brand? Nick's like, I don't know who that is.
I have no idea who that is
He's
at
the
all.
Ghost. He used to be a circus performer.
Dead Man. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
Dead Man. Okay.
Dead Man.
Oh
Boston
man.
Brand.
Dead Man. I'm trying to think. Who's like funny? Because
He needs to be funny from Boston.
you're giving me a face, and I know you're gonna want
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Shake his
yeah.
head and he's Boston Brand. No. If Bruce Willis was younger, if
no.
Bruce Willis was younger,
Casey
yeah.
Affleck is dead.
Ooh,
Affleck.
Casey Affleck. Yes.
that's not bad. I like that. I do.
I think Casey Affleck
Now-
would kill it.
Because if we get Leo as Green Arrow and we get Affleck and Damon and all these people who are somewhat friends, there's one friend missing out of this group.
Who's that?
Tobey Maguire.
No, don't cast him.
as the Scarecrow. I don't care. Cast him as Condiment King and just make him work at a mall.
Yes.
Don't even show him. It's like, oh yeah, Tobey Maguire worked here.
Oh
And
my
Tobey Maguire comes in, he's
God.
just like, I hate my job, and he squirts ketchup on some girl's hot dog.
But more importantly, Zatanna.
Ooh, Zatanna, yes.
There was Boss Logic did this thing of Alexandra Daddario.
The girl from Percy Jackson.
Okay.
And she looked pretty good.
Yeah,
not
I'd
gonna
say
lie.
I would cast her, or let's stick with somebody who's already played a magician/wizard, Selena Gomez.
Ooh, Selena Gomez. Okay.
Okay.
What about Rosario Dawson?
I think it's a little. She's already invested in Marvel's Netflix series. I don't
True.
think they'd actually go for that.
I like that idea. I like it. I really do. I just don't think they'd go for it.
She's a great actress, but I would agree with him. Like she's so invested in Marvel's Netflix series that I don't
Oh,
think
yeah.
she would even consider a DC.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Well, I mean, she played Batgirl in the Lego Batman movie,
I know that.
but
she's good
it's
for,
voice acting, so
Yeah, voice acting over
well,
actual.
sure, yeah. See, this is what I didn't want people to do. I didn't want you guys to specifically know who I'd be talking about, because then it's like just off the cuff. Because if you're sitting there looking for days, and oh man, who would be? Because then you'd be looking up lists about who said who would be the best fan cast. This way, it's in your own mind. You're not thinking about what other people have said.
I do agree on that.
Show's very raw. This is like one of our
Yeah.
It's like
rawest shows, just because we're
Rawest
like
show, yeah.
kind of thinking
Monday
off
Night
the-
Raw, 9:30 is on
Oh my God.
the TV, the television. 1-800-Mattress, folks. 1-800-Mattress. Anything you guys want to fan cast?
Ooh, okay, hold on.
Give us 30 minutes, Nick.
No, I do have some. I do have
Red Hood, Jensen Ackles.
Yeah, I also said, Zac Efron. Oh, Tim Drake.
They had one guy submitted a video to Ben.
Yes, that
and,
is
like, was fighting just
Ryan
doing all this
Potter.
crazy. I thought.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was great. Like,
That's my choice.
I would totally he convinced me in that.
He played Hero in Big Hero 6.
Okay.
Yeah. Damian Wayne.
Damian Wayne. I feel like it's way too soon to really do
I think
that
that's the perfect time.
Damien.
because
He
they
has
got to
be
include.
pretty young.
I feel like he has to. I
Under
feel like
10.
they have to do Tim Drake first. But if they're gonna go with
Well,
Damian Wayne,
if-
what if it's the kid from Gotham?
No, you can't cast him.
Dave Mazouz. Like,
Well, this is what you have to
Bruce
do.
Wayne?
Yeah.
They're saying that might actually be a setup to the DCEU. They said Gotham may be a pre,
Okay, that's interesting.
which doesn't make sense because it's set in the same timeline.
Yeah, I don't know.
But we have to assume Tim Drake's already been done. Do we think that, or do you think he's going to get Tim Drake now?
I think he's gonna get Tim Drake now because he retired and didn't want to have because
Todd.
of
How many years
Jason
ago did
Todd.
They say 20 years? No, I think it was 20. It would have been.
If
10.
they're
He's
doing
been
it-
doing it for 20 years, I
if
think they
you-
said,
He's
right?
been Batman for 20 years?
I think that's what it was because they
so
said
Nightwing is Nightwing for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already have a Nightwing.
and
Jason's dead,
20
so
years
then
and
they would
or
bring in
something.
Tim.
Who stayed a good guy or whatever. That was the
so
line.
let's say 2016, so that puts it 1996. He started out as Batman.
I
And then
could
how
see
many
that.
years was he retired between Jason Todd and? It
Oh man.
couldn't have been long.
Yeah. No.
I'd say less than 5 years,
Yeah.
because there's no way that. But
I
then
give it
people
4.
Forgot about him that quickly. Like Metropolis didn't care, and
Yeah.
Gotham really didn't. That's crazy. Because when you look at like the TV shows, like the Batman always used to, and this is like centuries ahead.
Yeah. And Batman Beyond, you're talking about, right?
Batman Beyond, the Batman, they mistake that Thomas Wayne was Batman and not Bruce. But I guess, yeah, you're right. It would be Tim Drake. They wouldn't introduce a Damian right out of the gate. And they probably couldn't. They probably wouldn't.
They won't.
We've never seen a Tim Drake in a movie. We've never seen a Jason Todd in a movie.
We've only seen
They
Dick
won't
Grayson.
touch. They won't touch Damien because Talia
young.
Al Ghul has already been shown on Arrow.
And in the Nolan verse.
They wouldn't even. I mean, the Nolan verse is its own thing. I'm saying like.
Well,
Arrow
yeah,
right
but
now,
like
Arrow
I think they're trying to
is
push away
featuring-
from that.
I know, but they're keeping their TV universes like separate, and I know since Talia just showed up on Arrow, they're never gonna cross that line.
And they killed off
would be the
Deathstroke
point?
in the Arrowverse, so that way they could bring him into.
I don't know if they necessarily did it on purpose, but they just... I could see them if they wanted to do it, they would bring in
Yeah.
Talia. Or they could just say, this is your son, deal with it. Or have Roz give it to him. Be like, this is your son, dude. Man up, start paying Social Security and child support. Might have Michael Cera play Rob.
Oh no!
Oh boy, look at these pants.
fly, Robin, fly.
That's great.
Oh god! But yeah, no, I think Tim Drake is the way to go ultimately.
I've always been a Tim Drake fan. I love Nightwing and everything. Don't get me wrong, Nick. But Tim Drake has always been my boy.
Tim Drake's the best
because
Robin.
he figured out who Batman was without having any help on figuring it out. He just figured it out. And that to me means like he's like the second up of the world's greatest detective. Like Batman's the greatest detective, and even Batman
Nightwing's
is
even said that Tim Drake is the better detective than any of us. When Bruce dies, he'll be the one to become Batman.
Exactly.
Because Tim never wanted to become, or not Tim.
Dick was always the greatest son.
Mm-hmm.
Tim was always the greatest
Detective.
detective.
Yeah.
Damian was probably the best fighter.
Damien was the true son, best fighter. I go with best fighter. And
Yeah.
then Jason Todd was just a disappointment all the time.
Pretty much.
Fans hated him. That's why they killed him off. People are like, oh, Jason Todd's the greatest. I'm like, why did they kill him off if he was the best?
Yeah, people hated him, and they actually like rigged phones to call and kill him off.
Yeah.
Yep. That's true.
1-800 number. I want to buy that comic.
Because I have the graphic novel, I want to own the actual comic where it's...
Yeah, and I do have the first issue of Tim Drake as Robin. I showed Chris that. I picked it
The
up.
first one is Nightwing, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say he brings that in. I'm like,
Yeah, I
you're
showed
a Dick
it.
Grayson fan though, man.
I mean, I thought it was cool. I saw it in the mall, and I
I bought a
was.
copy of Detective Comics 27.
Ooh.
New 52.
yeah, that's what I figured.
It's the same cover as Detective Comics, the original.
Really?
1937, yeah.
Wow. But yeah, so I think that just about does it for us. Unless Benny has one last thing to promote or say.
Sure, yeah. If you guys enjoy really bad comedy and humor, I do a weekly Facebook Live show called The Midweek Blues with YouTube's Nick Bennie. So I do it live every Wednesday, unless I have homework, then I do it on Thursday. It's usually at 9 o'clock. It's half an hour, and there's a lot of shenanigans. If you're not fans of the cussing, I wouldn't tune in. If you're not fans of inappropriate jokes, I wouldn't tune in. If you like seeing darts thrown at people's faces, tune in. If you like finding out what the drink of the week is, tune in. But other than that, yeah. It's just my way to vent every week. We kind of talk about pop culture. I do a really bad Trump impression, and that's about it.
Sounds great.
So yeah, Midweek Blues with YouTube's Bennie.
So-
Wednesdays at 9 on Facebook Live.
It's been great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
With that, thank you all for joining us. This has been Geek Week with Chris and Nick,
Once again, I'm Chris Natale.
and I'm Nick Rotundo.
If you'd like to hear any of our old episodes, be sure to check out our YouTube account, which is posted on our Facebook account at www.facebook.com/geekweek885. And like us on there, subscribe to our channel, share with all your friends and family, and be sure to also check out our Instagram account at geekweek885.
And be sure to tune in next week. Hopefully we'll be on a regular time schedule. That snow won't mess us up, hopefully. But we will be talking about the animated comic book universes. So we'll see you then.
That was Geek Week with Chris and Nick. Be sure to tune in next week at 6 p.m.